Hello, I'm SugarWiki and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about some quick tips and tricks that you do in Satisfactory that might make things a little bit easier for you, make the game a little bit more fun to play, that kind of thing. So if you like what you see, think about dropping a like and subscribing. I'm still kind of a smaller channel, so it does help out a lot. But yeah, let's get into it. So first thing is, I don't really know why this isn't on by default, but you can turn off the hold the sprint option by going into your options and then go controls and then just uncheck hold to sprint. And now you don't have to jam your pinky into the shift key the entire time when you want to be running. You can just tap it and you can just go all Forrest Gump all day and night. So one less thing to worry about, and your pinky will thank you. Next thing is you can autocraft by just tapping space. I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff on Reddit where people are like leaving stuff on their keyboard or the mouse and stuff so they can like just autocraft, but you can just tap it, just tap your space bar. You don't have to do anything fancy, and then you can go get your coffee, go do what you want to do, and you can come back and have some more milestones done. If you've been gone for a bit, you might not know that this is a thing in the vanilla game, but we have zooping now. So if you want to lay down up to 10 platforms at a time, you can just hit R and you can zoop 10 of them. Total game changer. No mod, all vanilla, it's great. Makes things so much easier to build. It'll let you cycle through with R through default, zooping, which is what I was just doing, or you can do it vertical, so you can like make really tall towers pretty quickly like that too. So this thing, I've gone a pretty long time without knowing about it. I went pretty far into the game. I made it like all the way to the last elevator phase, if that says anything. But you can hit control and you'll see here that they're just snapping onto the side of the next building. Yeah. Way easier to build out, especially if you're building out a lot of buildings at a time and you want them all lined up like this. Yeah, just hit control. And it also works on the grass too, so this is actually really helpful, especially in the beginning before you have platforms unlocked. You can just hit control and they'll all line up nice and neat for you. So there was a spitter nearby and I was thinking, you know, I used to be really afraid, but you actually want to get up close to them. The closer that you are to these guys, the less damage that they do. So if you look at my health bar right now, I'm not losing that much health. Like if I was farther away, I probably would have died, but because I'm like all up in his face, the damage is like a lot lower than if I was far away. You can also use conveyor belts to launch yourself pretty far, especially if like MK4 or MK5s and you got a jetpack on. Yeah, you can just run on them and you can get some pretty good air off of that. Also, you can do the run, slide, jump, and then just kind of tap, like little taps on your jetpack, and you can launch yourself pretty far like that. So a lot of people, myself included, have had a lot of problems with fluids. They're kind of finicky sometimes, but this is like the gist right here that you really want to know, especially if you're trying to get fluids up. Look for that blue circle right there, and that is your headlift. That's going to show you how far the water is going up. So if I want to get it all the way up to the top of this tower right here, I need to place another pump. This is an MK1 pump, and I see another blue circle there, so that means I got to place one more pump there, and should be good. So I'm just going to go plug them in real quick here, and let's test it out, make sure it works. I do actually have a full video that goes a lot more in depth, like using packagers and trains to move fluids up and that kind of thing. I'll leave a link for you here if you want to learn a little bit more. But yeah, it looks like it's working here. So yeah, I think we're good. So say I want to limit the number of items and I want to use an MK1 belt, but I only have MK5 belts on my building toolbar here. Instead of going through the whole build menu, I can hit E, and E is going to let me cycle through all the different similar buildings in that same category. So I can just hit my MK5 belt and then I can hit E and it's going to cycle to MK1, and there we go. It works for everything. So if I want to cycle through different kinds of power poles, I can do that. It's going to give me MK1 through MK3, and if I do equipment workshop, it's going to cycle through craft bench and the workshop. Really useful for splitters too. It'll just cycle through all the different kinds of splitters. I almost never use programmable splitters, but every now and then I'll want to throw one in there so I don't like have it on my building toolbar. Alright, last one, guys. Gonna be looking at using N, and N is really useful for planning out larger factories, and there's a lot of things that you can do. Like you can search for all the recipes that you have. Like here I'm gonna look for silica, and it's gonna show me other recipes that I have. Not the ones that I don't have. For those, if you want to see all the other kinds of alt recipes, I'll leave some links below, but there's like Satisfactory Fandom and Satisfactory Calculator that are really good ones. There's some other ones too. But like here, I can also do math stuff in it. So if I want to see how many assemblers I need, each one of these is going to use 11.25 raw quartz per minute. So if I want to see how many assemblers per normal node of quartz here that I have, which is each of them is producing 600 per minute, then I'm going to hit N, and then I'm going to type in 600 divided by 11.25, and it's going to give me 53 1/3. So I'm going to need 54 assemblers, and then I'm going to take the last one and underclock it. I can also see how much silica this is going to produce by taking this, which is the number of assemblers, and multiplying the number of assemblers by 26.25, which is, yep, that's how much silica each one of these is going to make per minute, and it's going to make 1400 silica per minute from each one of these nodes. And I would definitely recommend, if you are short on quartz, you can really stretch out your silica production from how much quartz you have by using the cheap silica recipe if you have that alt. That's basically it. If you're familiar with like how Google Sheets or Excel works, it's like the same thing. You can just like use parentheses, and yeah, that way you don't have to keep switching back between that or like using a calculator in real life. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you found some of it useful or interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day now.